Greetings everyone, it's Revival of Wisdom. I facilitate human enlightenment through occult and esoteric teachings. I hope this video expands your mind into a new field of thought.
Change your life because of bad habits. Think of your brain like a computer.
Whatever you encode the computer with, that is what is acted out.
Eating junk food, playing games, drinking coffee. You can't break these bad habits because the computer is running off these codes.
Your body is just acting out what you've told it to do over these past years. In order to change, you must change the subconscious coding. This method will make you very successful, so stick around. The subconscious codes are created by two ways.
Number one is repetition. You've tied your shoelaces that many times, it's become a code. You do it automatically.
You no longer have to use the conscious mind to think how to tie the laces. Repetitively use I am statements to recode the subconscious. Never say I will be financially free, say I am financially free. The subconscious takes everything as truth. Every bad word you say to someone else or about yourself, your subconscious codes takes this as truth. Every conscious word is molding your mind and has molded your codes.
The second way is through emotion. Let's say you had a very traumatic car crash 10 years ago.
You can recall this memory so vividly, like it happened 5 minutes ago. The stronger the emotion you feel, the deeper it encodes your subconscious. This is why you can recall very emotional events in your life.
Use repetition and emotion to think, feel, imagine, and speak about this desired reality.
This will mold your subconscious to become that code. This new code will fall into 90% of your behavior, thoughts, and actions, which will then manifest that reality.
I have a whole section in my university for this, plus a library filled with occult and esoteric books. I host lectures every week and do live calls.
And yes, we all know the earth is flat.
Jesus tells you to meditate. Luke 6:6, when thou prayest, enter in thine inner chamber, and having shut thy door. The inner chamber is your mind, the inner self. Shut thy door means to turn off the thinking mind. Matthew 6:34, take no thought. He says this 5 times. Turn off the 5 senses and take no thought. When you turn off the thinking mind, you access pure consciousness, which is God. Matthew 21:12, Jesus went into the temple of God. Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are the temple of God? Jesus went within himself, connecting to pure consciousness because he knew that God is within him and within you. You build the Temple of Solomon when you balance the left and right hemispheres of your brain, Sol and Mon, sun and moon, which is the holy land of Israel, Isis, Ra, and El, which can help you astral project. Theologians tells you to meet the Lord in the air, earth, body, water, emotions, fire, spirit, air is mind. Take no thought, enter within your mind and meet with God. Raise your consciousness. If you want to become enlightened, join the university. Long form lectures, live Q&A calls, manifesting course, library filled with occult information, and gain access to all of the brain hemisync meditation tracks.
Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. You descended from spirit to matter. Stairway to heaven is your spine, and you must raise yourself from matter back to spirit, from heel to head, from hell to heaven, material to spiritual through reaching Christ consciousness. Heaven and hell are internal states. We must transmute the chaos within ourselves to a higher state of consciousness.
Balancing the brain with the heart, the intellect with the emotion, the Father and the Son, creates the Holy Spirit, the holy spiraling energy field.
33 vertebrae on the spine. Jesus crucified at 33. We must crucify our body, our material self, to our spiritual self by raising our consciousness from the base of the spine to the brain, moving from reproduction, food, and power to love and knowledge in the head. Join the university to become enlightened. We have lectures, live calls, and a library, plus so much more.
You're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection.
The reason why this is bad is because your brain and your heart are directly connected. The cranial brain does the thinking, but every thought you think produces an emotion felt in the heart. In fact, the heart has its own neural network with 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same cells found in the cranial brain. Therefore, the heart is the second brain. However, the cranial brain has 2 hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause dualism and confusion. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the cranial brain. However, the heart does not have 2 hemispheres. It's a singular organ.
So when you say follow your heart, this has a deep meaning.
Because the heart is the tablet that tells you what is right and what is wrong. When you hurt someone, you can feel it in your heart. The heart is the moral law within you that tells you what is right and what is wrong. That's why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. When you follow your heart long enough, this takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to connect to our heart intelligence. All you have to do is turn off the cranial thoughts, put your hand on your heart, and listen to the emotional intelligence. They don't want us connected to our hearts because this is where love and empathy comes from, and this is where our true life purpose resides. The Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is now available. You can get it in hardback exclusive edition or just paperback. Jesus never existed. Jesus symbolizes the sun with the 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs, the 4 gospels for the 4 seasons of the sun. That's why Christians worship him on Sunday.
That's why the Vatican is a sundial.
And the Pope holds the sun. Sun moves 1 degree northward on the 25th of December, bringing back the summer and the light. Sun is born a virgin on the 25th of December. This is where it starts to get a bit crazy. The sun represents your soul, your consciousness.
And the soul is in the heart.
You have 4 bodies of consciousness. You have a spirit, a body, and a mind and emotions. The sun has 4 seasons, which are associated with the 4 physical elements. Autumn is water, emotion. Winter is air, the mind. Spring is earth, the body. Summer is fire, the spirit. This is why there are 4 gospels. Each gospel talks about Jesus according to the different body of consciousness. Luke is always depicted with Taurus, which is an earth sign. Luke portrays Jesus in a way that shows that he is a physical man, a physical human. Matthew is always seen with a little boy, which is Aquarius, air, the mind. The Gospel of Matthew shows Jesus as an intellectual and a communicative teacher. John is always seen with an eagle, which is Scorpio, the water, emotion. Gospel of John shows Jesus as an emotional creature. This is when he turns water into wine. Mark is always depicted with a lion, which is Leo, fire, the spirit. The Gospel of Mark shows Jesus as a spiritual teacher. The sun is an externalization of your soul. Jesus is just a story about you and the 4 bodies of consciousness that you possess. This is why Ezekiel had a vision and saw the 4 different heads of the throne of God. Ezekiel saw the head of a man, a lion, ox, and an eagle, Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio, which are the 4 fixed signs, the 4 bodies of consciousness. So much more that goes into this. Read this book if you truly want to learn the true deep meaning behind the Bible. You see, knowledge is power. When you don't know these things, you have no influence. This book will give you understanding of who you are, where you are, and what you are.
Parents are a pair who rents. Because you don't own your child, you sign them away using a signature. You signed your nature with a sigil. A sigil is a symbol used in witchcraft. You are born into this world, and the word born comes from barren, which means lifeless, dull, and boring. Then you are controlled by the government, the governmentality. They control your mind.
Everything physical began as a thought in the thinking mind.
The mind is the root cause of reality, so they control your mind, not your body.
They do this by broadcasting spells to north, east, west, and south, the news. Then they teach you the vowels in this specific order, A, E, I, O, U, to teach you that you owe them to become a slave.
You are weak in the weekdays because you are working. Where you were a king, you are no longer a king if you are working. Then on the weekend, you are weakened from the weekdays.
Days is a daze where you are in a state of confusion. The television is used to tell a vision, to program you on the programs. They want you to think slaughter is laughter, hello is hell is low. Words are swords because they mold your mind. They also create 3-dimensional sound waves which impacts the fabric of matter. I believe that we were never meant to use words. Language has been manipulated so that we no longer use telepathy because we are all connected on the mental plane. We are surrounded by a sea, a mental ether of thought. We still have telepathic powers, which we call intuition. Stop seeking attention from people. You're operating from a sense of lack. You're trapping yourself in a cycle of seeking external validation. This will continue to happen until you figure out that true happiness, true validation comes from within. You're telling your subconscious mind this is what you want by seeking these things. Everything you do, everything you think is telling your subconscious that's what you want. And it's bringing it into existence. This is how it works. Nothing physical can ever satisfy your heart, can ever fill the void you have in your soul. because your soul is not from this physical earth. Therefore, nothing from this physical earth can ever fill the void in your spiritual soul. You must find happiness within. You must be like the sun, which shines naturally without seeking recognition. Find it within. The planets are not spinning balls in space. They are lights in the firmament. They give you the 7 chakras, the 7 days of the week, the 7 days of creation, and the 7 metals. Gold is a physical crystallization of the sun. That's why banks are backed by gold, because the sun is the soul of the solar system. It gives life to all things. Silver is a physical manifestation of the moon's energy. Mercury gives you mercury, Saturn gives you lead. Low vibrating light turns into matter, high vibrating matter turns back into light. Everything's made out of light. That's why the ancients were decked out in jewelry. By wearing the metal, you can harness the energy of each planet. The planets are different aspects of consciousness. They are energies, emotional states, and levels of awareness that manifest all conditions in the external and internal world. These are the Elohim. Read this book if you want to know more. The comment with 0 likes wins a free Book of Wisdom Volume 2. My YouTube might help you understand this. Let your emotions be your teacher. Jealousy shows you where you want to be. Fear shows you the path to your greatest growth. Emotions are the language of the soul. You are in physical reality to evolve. This stage where you are is a part of a vast journey of the evolution of your consciousness. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Head is heaven and heel is hell, and the bottom of the foot is called the soul. 144,000 chosen ones will go to heaven according to the Bible. 1 plus 4 and 4 is 9. 9 represents consciousness. That's why I is the 9th letter of the English alphabet, because when you say I, you're referring to your consciousness. 144,000 is a state of consciousness. That's why 666 adds up to 9, because the mark of the beast is the lower self. 66 is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of consciousness: thoughts, emotions, actions. 6 is the number of physical reality. That's why the cube has 6 sides, and you're in a cube now. You can only move forward, backwards, left, right, upwards, and down. That's 6 sides. 666 is when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all based on physical reality, cutting off your spirituality. You are the beast in your lower nature. Your consciousness does not operate in this physical reality. That's why you must think outside of the box. The body is the box. The body is the beast, the animal. You are an individual. You exist in 2 realms at once, a material external reality and a spiritual non-physical reality internally, which is the compass and the square combined, spirit and matter. Internal spiritual world projects your outer material world. Spirit is heaven, matter is hell. Reason you feel so lost is because you don't understand your nature. Understanding who you are makes you feel so much better. 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. Jesus has 12 disciples, he is the 13th. 1 plus 3 is 4. You have a 4-fold nature, a mind, spirit, emotion, and body. This is why he has 4 gospels. Mark shows Jesus as a spiritual teacher. John shows Jesus as an emotional creature, water into wine. Matthew shows Jesus as a mental body, where he's intellectual and communicative. And Luke shows Jesus as a human being, where he does physical things for other people. 13 represents human consciousness. They have demonized it. That's why the word sacred is scared rearranged. They made you scared of all the sacred symbols. Water is emotion, air is the mind, earth is the body, and fire is the spirit. The Bible is filled with metaphors, cryptograms, astrological codes, and numerological codes. Jesus never existed. He represents you. He represents God made flesh. You are an extension of God's consciousness. Watch this YouTube video to find out more.
Please like, subscribe, comment down below any video ideas you want me to do, any information you want me to spit. Thank you all. Have an amazing day.
I'm